Om Yajnanandimirantasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmritam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome to our today's ISKCON Bulla official YouTube channel for today's lecture on Srimad Bhagavatam 10th Canto 80th chapter. As we have discussed earlier, that how in these two chapters, 80 and 81st, 80th and 81st, the Lord's friend relation with Sudama will be described. As we have discussed, we have heard when Lord went from Vrindavan to Mathura at the age of 11 years. At that time, the Lord went to Ujjaini to take education from Sandipani Muni. And at that time, there was his classmate, that is Sudama, very poor. We'll describe it about him in two chapters. So, in this chapter, Lord Krishna is described how he worshipped his Brahmana friend Sudama, who came to his palace seeking charity, and how the two of them discussed the pastimes they had shared while living at the home of their spiritual master Sandipani Muni. They will be releasing those reminiscences of Guru Graha, Guru Sikhya. So the Brahmana Sudama, a personal friend of Lord Krishna, was completely free of material desires. He maintained himself and his wife with whatever come of its own accord, and thus they were poverty stricken, which by the arrangement of the Lord. One day, Sudama's wife, unable to find any food to prepare for her husband, went to him and asked that he visit his friend Krishna in Dwaraka and beg some charity. Sudama was reluctant, but when she persisted, he agreed to go, reflecting that an opportunity to see the Lord was extremely auspicious, as stated in 80th chapter, text 12. So similarly, our discussion about the Lord is also very rare. It's a good opportunity, golden opportunity, so to say, that we are discussing about these pastimes of the Lord. So similarly, Sudama was thinking that sa evang bharjya vipro bahusha prarthito muhu ayam hi param lava uttama shloka darshanam. He was contemplating. He was not listening in the beginning, but bahusha bharjya vipro bahusha prarthito muhu, very often, every day she was requesting, please go to your friend and beg some charity. Every day he was going to beg charity, but he was not willing to go to beg charity from the Lord Krishna. Why should one beg from the Lord? The Lord maintains every word. In this way, he was not thinking of going. But when his wife persisted, then his thought changed. What did he think? He thought, ayang hi param lava. This is the highest benefit. Uttama Shloka Darshanam, at least I will see him. Uttama Shloka Darshanam. There are so many, they may say, effects of seeing the Lord. It is stated by Devhuti in Srimad Bhagavatam 3rd Canto, 33rd chapter. So she was seeing the Lord, and she was glorifying the importance of seeing the Lord. Anyway, in this way, the Lord and Brahman, joined by some local Brahmanas, in this way he went from present-day Porbandar, Ahmedabad, that is Porbandar. Still now you will see a reminiscence of Sudama's activities there. There is a temple there. If you visit there, they will give you prasad, the chuda prasad, what he took with him to the Lord. We'll see, we'll hear it. So in this way, when he went from this Ahmedabad, all the way from Ahmedabad to Dwaraka, by walking, and even not a slipper in his feet, not a slipper. And dress is also not a fine dress, very dirty dress. eh? But in that way he went. So when he reached Dwaraka, the learned Brahmana, joined by some local Brahmanas, every day, as we have heard in the 69th chapter, every day was Lord giving charity. So every day some Brahmanas go for taking charity and seeing the Lord, have the darshan of the Lord, association of the Lord. What a great fortune! And these are the good effects of the Lord's incarnation. So many activities are there, and the Lord is Lila Purushottama. So in this way, Sudama, along with other Brahmanas, they passed 3 guard stations and went through 3 gateways. Like Vaikuntha. This is Vaikuntha. As we have heard that Sanat Kumar couldn't get entrance to this Vaikuntha, described in 3rd canto, 15th chapter. He was debarred from entering by those 2 keepers, doorkeepers, Jaya and Vijaya. So in this way, he walked, went through 3 gateways, and then he walked by the homes of Lord Krishna's faithful devotees. This is the Dwarka city. Faithful devotees. Then the Andhakas and Brishnis, which ordinarily no one could do. No one can enter into that. He then entered one of the opulent palaces belonging to the Lord Hari's 16,000 queens. Actually 16,108 queens. And when he did so, he felt as if he were attaining the bliss of liberation. This is the result of seeing the Lord, or even entering the Dham Vas. Mathura Purita Vasa, 64 parts in devotional service. One is this Mathura Purita Vasa, or the Lord's Dham. As Sudama approached the palace of Lord Krishna's principal wife, that is Rukmini Devi, the Lord saw him from a distance. So Krishna immediately rose from his seat on Rukmini's bed and embraced his friend with great joy. Then he sat Sudama down on the bed, washed his feet and with his own hands, and sprinkled the wash water on his head. After this, he presented him with various gifts and worshipped him with incense, lamps, and so on, just as we are offering worship to the Lord. The Lord also worships his devotees. We will see in the pastimes of the Lord. We have heard so many pastimes of the Lord. These are all described in 10th canto, and we are very fortunate to hear this 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, the Lord's pastimes. It is described as the lotus face of the Lord. The entire Bhagavatam is compared to the spiritual body of the Lord, especially 10th canto is his lotus face. And I have already said that when we are hearing about 10th canto pastimes, it is as if the Lord is kissing them, just like the Lord was kissing the gopis. So meanwhile, Rukmini fanned the shabbily dressed Brahmana. The Brahmana, he has not a good cloth also, with a actal whisk. All of this astonished the residents of the palace. The residents, there are so many thousands of servitors, maid servants, male servants, like that, and they were astonished. What pious activity this poor Brahmana did, so that Lord is worshipping him. This way they are thinking. The Lord Sri Krishna then took the hand of his friend, and the two of them reminisced about the things they had done together long ago while living in the school of their spiritual master. Sudama pointed out that Krishna engaged in the pastime of acquiring an education only to set an example for human society. And reminiscence of these school days will be described in next chapter. So thank you very much for listening to our lecture, and please don't forget to subscribe, share and like our channel and get the blessings of the Lord. Thank you very much. Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama